Hey y'all, welcome back to Meaningful Life Homestead. Today is a special day. I'm spending a little bit of time in one of our more neglected areas of the homestead, but it is by far my favorite. It is our bearded iris garden. So you can see behind me, we actually have a split bed garden that goes around our lovely little light pole out here in the yard. And so it's basically half daylilies, or what I think is daylilies. That's kind of a mystery. We'll find that out. If you guys could recognize the plants, feel free to comment or point that out as far as what else is in this bed, because I really can't remember. But my all-time favorite part is the purple bearded irises. Just to catch you up to speed, back in the fall when it was getting really cold, I went through and I pruned back the irises. And y'all can check out my other gardening video on that, and I can walk you through exactly what to do, exactly how to prepare your irises for the winter season and what I did to prepare these. So we pruned them back, we cut them down, and then I've just been letting them grow. I've tried to make sure they have adequate water. I put a little bit of ground mulch over, not a lot, because irises are plants that really like to be at the surface. They have these really big bulbs that kind of like to peek out over the soil, so you don't really want to bury them a whole lot. Today I've just chosen to start weeding the garden because I have counted, and y'all, there are like close to 10 or 11 blooms that are coming out that are fixing to sprout into beautiful flowers, and so I want to make sure that we give them the best chance possible, and I just wanted to take some time to walk you guys through exactly how I do that. Frankly, there's really nothing to it. You just pull out the weeds, take it onto the compost pile, which is also something I'll share with you guys a little later on, so make sure you check back for that. We finally started a compost pile, and I'm so happy and so excited about that. I have thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and I just was nervous. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to start, and then I was like, you know what? We're gonna do it. We're gonna start a compost pile. So I've finally done that, and I will definitely be showing you guys that. So like I said, make sure that you tune back in for that. I'll go over what to compost, what not to compost, some do's and don'ts, and I've already kind of learned a little bit of mistakes that I've made already so far. I'll save you guys the hassle. I'll tell you what I figured out, and then you guys can take that information and go from there, and you can use it however you want to. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is just kind of regain control over this bed line. We have some really encroaching grass here. It's also a good idea if you have like a flathead shovel or something like that, you can actually go around and almost like trench your bed lines. I did that last spring when I really went through. I actually thinned this bed out, believe it or not. Right now I just want to kind of do what I can with my bare hands and not worry about having to pull all the tools out. If you are just starting your iris bed, or you have a garden that has gotten really out of control, pull out the shovel and go along and just dig you a nice line. Okay, the first step I want to do is just kind of regain the actual edge of my bed here where the grass has kind of encroached. Part of the benefit of spreading the base of your flower bed out actually will help to prevent whatever your growth is doing from getting ran over with like the lawnmower or something like that. So you know, definitely consider doing that, but like I said, at this point I'm just kind of doing a general weeding and pruning and getting everything kind of a little bit more under control. So anything that you see that is brown or dead or broken, go ahead and pull that out too, and just check and make sure that what you've got left in your bed is just healthy material, because that's going to help your plants grow and be more successful in your bed too. So as I'm going along and I'm regaining my edge, I'm also checking for anything that looks like it's, you know, been eaten by bugs, stuff like that. So go ahead and do that too. can really see right here how this grass has just totally taken over the edge of the bed. Here's the area that I just worked. I just kind of got that back in shape, but you can tell right here this grass is just totally encroached on this bed. So I'm going to go ahead and weed that back. You can use any kind of gardening tool that you want to. I just like doing it the good old-fashioned way and using my hands. Y'all have to ignore my crazy dog. The UPS man is in the neighborhood, and she just absolutely does not like the UPS truck. So she is definitely barking a little crazy. This area right here does tend to be a little bit of an ant hideaway, so make sure that when you are doing this that you're very careful about what you're doing. I'm trying to kind of move quick. It probably would be good at this point if I had some gloves. I'm going to finish what I've got to do and I'm going to get out of their way, and then I'll worry about dealing with the ants later. Alright, so as you can see, I got a pretty good hold on this iris bed behind me. I was able to go pretty much around the whole perimeter of the bed and regain the bed space from the encroaching grass that I was telling y'all about. Now there is a pretty gnarly fire ant bed on the far side. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to go in and boil me a big pot of water and take that and dump on top of the fire ant bed, so hopefully that will help them relocate and find a new home, and then I'll be able to finish that back side. I got a lot of stuff just out of this little bit of space that I worked today. I'm really excited now to see how these bearded irises bloom this spring. Something I want to point out to y'all that I did do while I was making my way around this bed was I really took time to look at every single plant. If I found anything that looked like this, anything that was shriveled up, that was dying, that was really brown, that just didn't look good or was broken, even if it was still attached to my plant, I went ahead and took it off. I just plucked it off as close to the base as I could get it, because I didn't want my plants to waste time and waste energy on something that looks like this. So that's one tip that I can give you guys to have a more successful iris bed, is help your plants out. Go ahead and cut off all the appendages that are not helping your plants, and then in the long run you'll see a much better yield. Here, this is the area that we started with, and we were really able to regain our edge. It looks so much better. I'm so happy with how this turned out. I do have a little straggler right here. That little guy is a little straggler. I think he's been the landing zone for Bailey when he comes out to pee. So going through and weeding your beds can be stressful for your plants. You're kind of disturbing their ecosystem. You're disturbing their root systems as much as we try not to. So I would definitely recommend going ahead and topping off with just a good, nice sip of water. Go ahead and water those flowers. Keep them happy, keep them healthy, and keep growing. Alright, I want to take a minute and show you guys what I was talking about with these irises, about how they are like bulbers and they really like to be on the top of the soil. So I just finished giving them a nice drink of water, and I just want to show you what I'm talking about, because for those of you growing irises for the first time, you may look at it and say, oh my gosh, something's wrong, and you may go cover them up, and that is not what they want. So come on over here, let me show you. See if I can do this the right way. So this is what I'm talking about when I say that they are bulbers. They like, or tubers, whatever you want to say, I don't know the right word for it, but they like to be on the surface of the ground, okay? So you do not want to cover them all the way up. I like to put a little layer of mulch over this bed just to give it a little bit of aesthetic appeal, but I typically really do it very, very sparsely on top of the bulbers or tubers because they like to be there right at the surface of the ground. That is how they grow best. That is how they were designed to grow. So when you see that, do not panic. That is what you want. Hope you found this video helpful or interesting, and if you did, please consider subscribing to my channel, share this, and make sure you give it a thumbs up and ring the bell icon so you don't miss any new content.